aristocrats. Someone important. Attilius Quint. The stooped man wearing a cloak of the Adeptus Administratum is reviewing information on a data state, while his quietly wearing mechanical arms fill his long scroll with writing. Upon noticing you, the man stretches his thin lips into a smile and deferentially bows. The light in the eyes of the server skull hovering over his right shoulder gently pulsate. Ah, your lordship, what an honor it is to address you in person. Allow me to introduce myself. Attilius Quint, Prefectus of the Officio Agriculture. I will preserve the record of our conversation forever. Interesting. What record of our conversation? Your lordship, I painstakingly record every conversation with high-ranking personages, and afterward I fill out all 7 accompanying forms personally. Attilius rolls up his completed scroll in a practiced gesture, stows it away, and pulls out a new one. Your words and judgments are in good hands. The Black Balls are called the Umbra, are an intelligent, non-humanoid alien species of the galaxy that is intensely hostile to other forms of life. We think they are the remnants of what Slaanesh didn't consume. But why would the old ones be, or the remains of an old one, be so hostile towards life? Didn't they create it? Just cause of resentment after all the other old ones were wiped out? Attilius' mechanical fingers fly over the scrolls as he fills in another line. And, of course, what great fortune it is to see you for the very first time in all my years of service, an emissary of the nervous nobility here on Janus. I humbly welcome the esteemed Cassia, Tisifia, Abrielia, Lady Navigator of House Celio. Everything from a condescending gaze and confident bearing to a calm but commanding voice marks Cassia as the heiress of a great bloodline. Awestruck, the secretary writes down each letter of her name with a particular fastidiousness. And without asking, how is it written? Laudable foresight. I thank you. Moments such as the appearance of a rogue trader must be preserved for prosperity. What do you think of Vistensia Viat? The governor is a superb leader. She possesses an excellent grasp of all matters and never uses an incorrect form for a given situation. I do not pry into her personal affairs, but if I may speak plainly, a lady who fills out paperwork with such finesse cannot be a bad person in my view. What a way to think. Oh boy. Definitely sounds like very interesting theories, Alistair. I really have to read more in-depth lore about 40k. What do you have to say about the governor's helper, Yrliet? Attilius looks askance at Yrliet and offers a strained smile. A highly exceptional individual. After today's regretful event, I'm beginning to hold her talents in particular esteem. Verily, even mutants who have seen the light of the God Emperor can faithfully serve his flock. Mutants, sure. Moreover, Yrliet's particular abilities could be an interesting subject of study for the Magos biologists. Oh, yikes. That elongated head shape, those eyes. Judging by the skull that was given to me to send on footfall, such developmental anomalies on Janus are not a quirk of nature, but some kind of inheritable trait. Does he have like a dairy skull with them? Yrliet freezes completely, turning into a living statue. What did you say? Oh, madam, have my words upset you? I'm certain your kinsman would be delighted to learn that people wish to make pretty past paper of this remains. And besides, I could be wrong about the nature of his origins. You just talked that she should be analyzed and about having a skull which could be hers. Yeah, that might be upsetting. What skull are you talking about? A most remarkable item, I must say. A true anomaly. One moment. After rummaging in a nearby container, Attilius draws out a parcel, which he immediately unwraps. Here it is. I believe the finished piece was intended to be given as a gift to the governor, but under the current circumstances, I doubt I will be able to send it to Footfall anytime soon. Yrliet stares at the skull in silence. can see her jaw working under her delicate skin. After a few seconds, she abruptly turns away. Oh. Pasqal's mechanized eyes reach toward Attilius with interest, seeming to unnerve him a little. Adequately preserved. It is a pity that it is empty inside. Could have become a proper service car herald for a rogue trader. Unorthodox. Yikes. Empathy is nothing which is very common around here, I guess. The Eldari have been Imperium ally on many occasions. It's unusual they still hate each other until more than 40k. Oh. So, it is kind of this game which make them hate each other, or like the Koronus Expanse? It sounds smart to ally against the Chaos. I mean, you have enough enemies. The Chaos, the Necrons, everything. Remove it from my sight. Oh, yes, of course, of course. Attilius hurriedly returns the skull to the container. Tell me about Janus. What is happening here? Alas, your lordship, rebellions have caused us too many problems in recent times. The rebels are interfering with established processes, interrupting supplies, sabotaging the Serf's work. A few nobles have even been killed, and, worst of all, some of the victims occupied important administrative posts. Until their replacement pass their checks, complete all their induction forms, and go through the official appointment procedure, important paperwork is going to go unsigned. It's a bureaucratic catastrophe. Yeah, that surely is the worst. The absence of a required signature is, of course, the most horrifying thing about this situation. Thanks, Heinrix. Indeed it is. Financial reports, logistics, directives, waybills for food shipments. Without the signatures of most respected and now deceased head of House Zacharias, shipments to settlements in Aegis 24 have been stopped. The heirs are still dealing with the transfer of holdings, and incoming reports tell us that a quarter of the workings in the affected settlements have already died of starvation, while most of the remaining have left the perimeter and have not yet returned to their designated places. Oh gosh. What a bureaucratic hell. Futurama's nothing. And yeah, the skull definitely was Eldari, quite sure about that. If things continue in this vein, I dare not even imagine what it would lead to. There are worlds that are ravaged by war for generations. Generations, your lordship. Like that deranged planet by the nameless star, so close to our own system. The inhabitants there supposedly live under the patronage of rogue trader Winterscale. I shudder to think what he has created there. No, the Eldari and the Imperium constantly help each other. Then they just go back to fighting generally. The Elder backstab us or steal something, and this is used as an excuse, but after Gilliman comes back, they have a non-aggression pact. Sounds smart. Hey, diplomacy. I want to know the details. Where the rebels struck, and how. Of course. I would be delighted to furnish you with all the information I have. In the last few months, 15 organized attacks and 7 terrorist attacks have been perpetrated. Irrigation equipment has been sabotaged in agrarian sectors 3 to 5, transport routes 2-7, 4-13, and also... I suppose it does not tell you much. Please. Yeah. With a fussy gesture, he presses several buttons on his data slate screen, and a 3-dimensional map of coordinates of the attacks appears on your cogitator. Logic test succeeded. The data is superbly collated, and the map clearly displays the actions of the rebels. At first glance, there seems to be no logic to their campaign, but after analyzing the data and the features of the terrain, you notice a clear system indicating a geographical pattern of their attacks. Nice. Who's directing the rebels? Does anyone know? The rebels are well armed and well trained. What's more, the governor's advisors are inclined to think that the instigators of the rebellions are very familiar with the planet's terrain and climate. My ordinates are going through the registration records day and night, looking for individuals who have completed military training, but we have so far been unable to identify the scoundrel. I wonder if it's other mutants. What are you doing to combat the rebels? Our security services are tracking those who support the rebels, and our regular wardens are wiping out the saboteurs without the slightest mercy, but they keep on appearing. My scribes have been run off their feet, keeping records of all the public hearings and executions, but I'm confident that the governor will find a solution soon. Yeah, she told us in a few years, so I guess not. Oh, of course, your lordship. What are your duties here? By the grace of the God Emperor, I oversee the administrative apparatus on the planet and serve as a secretary. I'm also responsible for the logistic related to supplying the planets of the Von Valencius dynasty and the timely payment of tithes to the Imperium's official collectors. Speaking of the Von Valencius dynasty, when were the last shipments sent? Oh, your lordships, our supply shipments are all in order. Our foodstuffs and the other items are ready for the export and are simply waiting the arrival of the transport ships. However, given the current circumstances on the planet, Janus could not provide even one tranche more than what is already prepared. I'm certain the situation will be rectified in the near future. What do you know about the attack on the estate? A disgraceful incident, simply disgraceful. I cannot believe these scoundrels would dare to come so close, and to drag the nobility into this as well. If they penetrated the estate, that means they had help from someone like a wealthy servant or other. Security is currently questioning the survivors, but the culprit has not been found. Yet. Atelius Quinn smiles unpleasantly. Yeah, we're not gonna rat him out. I must take my leave. I look forward to meeting you again, your lordship. Right. I think we already have quite a lot of information. There we have a security officer.
Let us not dawdle.
Let's just walk around, see if we can find something more.
Duty prevails.
The chapel is built out of luxurious materials. The holy place looks half abandoned. You cannot smell any burned incense in the air. You see no seals of cleansing on the doors, and you hear no prayers, no human voices or vox recordings. That is odd.
Rise to the top, or
I
get
wonder
left in
why.
the dust.
But couldn't find out more, I guess.
Keep your wits about you.
I better myself.
Sealed containers marked with the familiar insignia of the Munitorum and additional seals of a forge world unknown to you. The crates contain high-grade weapons, likely made
I
to order.
always keep my options open.
Here we have him. Hulking man dressed in a uniform, marking him out as an officer of the gubernatorial wardens, is closely monitoring his subordinates as they surround the building. Sensing your approach, he whips around, his face going pale, and he offers a low bow. Your lordship, please do not stray too close to the building. One of the terrorists from today's attack has holed himself up in there. He could be dangerous. What is going on there? Ready to report, your lordship. We conducted a sweep of the area after the attack. All of the assassins were arrested or neutralized except for one. The officer scowls darkly. He shields himself inside. He already injured two wardens who tried to reach him, but there's no need to worry. We poison him and clear the last dregs of dirt from the estate. You can talk to him. I want to talk to the person inside. Are you sure? It's not exactly safe, your lordship. The officer's eyes involuntarily sweep over you, sizing you up. I want to solve this problem without too much blood or fuss. And hopefully get some answers. The officer takes a breath. As you wish, your lordship. At the officer's signal, the other wardens take a deferential step back, clearing your path to the door. What's the
Is
worst
there money
that
to
could
be
happen?
made?
When you approach the solid-looking door, a high, boyish voice shouts out, "Piss off! You won't take me alive! Better to put a bullet in my brain than let the governor's dogs get her hands on me." I'm Edward, rogue trader and sovereign of this planet. In the name of the Emperor, open this door. For a long time, nothing happens. Then, the door opens with a quick click. Let's see if he's immediately shot. Oh no, we go inside. The space is small, the corners filled with inky black shadows, but you can still make out the person in the room. He's desperately gripping a discharged lasgun in his hands. The rebel looks at you in amazement. It is really you! The young man, practically a boy, falls to his knees and stretches out his bloody hands toward you. His clothes are burned on one side and grimy with baked-in blood. Your Lordship, have mercy! You are the sovereign of this planet. Only you have the power to save us. I'm getting a really bad feeling about the governor. Youth is a time of recklessness. I had that said more than once in the Scholar Progenium and during my novitive. But youth is also a time of directness. Let us listen to this young man before we judge him. What? Listen first, shoot later? Who are you? What did you do to Argenta? Save you from what? From Governor Viet. Everybody knows what she's doing to us. We've put up with it for a long time, hoping that somebody would intervene and help us. But no one ever did. She's turned the whole world into a slaughterhouse. People are rounded up like grogs from the settlement, supposedly to go to the palace, and they're never seen again. Her servants pour something over the fields, and then people lose their minds. They start hearing voices and seeing evil spirits. And while we're dying, she's sitting behind her white walls and feasting on our bones. Is the governor a heretic? Yrliet's face twists. Sacrifices, madness, pain, and death. Even in so primitive as a society as this is, such right seems senseless, unworthy of such efforts. What is this? A random quirk of nature? Or something darker? I was taught that peasants have a tendency to exaggerate their suffering due to sloth and weakness of spirit. But this young man, vermilion thorns pierce every centimeter of his body, and grey shackles binds his hands, feet, and neck. There are no lies in his words, only terror and desperation without end. I think we have to talk with the governor again. You're telling me people are seeing evil spirits? Yes, others are going feral and attacking their loved ones, and then there's... The boy lowers his voice. People say that in some settlements, well, they stopped upholding the law altogether. Imperial law, and the law of basic human decency. People are turning into animals. Yeah, it really seems like our governor, Viet, is a monster. Who's behind this rebellion? He swallows nervously and looks at you with fear. Your Lordship, I beg you, don't ask me that. I can't sell out my brethren. It's over for me, but the others, I won't betray them. There will be no end to the war on this planet until I get a handle on the situation. But to do that, I need to meet with your leader. Yes. The boy hesitates for a few seconds, and then his head drops limply. As long as you keep your word. I've never been in their camp. None of us have. Only the chief saw one person from their base. He came a few times, bringing weapons and orders. He said that he represented a greater force than we could imagine, and he said the governor's dogs will pay for the reprisals in the settlements. But that's not what they're hidden. They kept their distances from ordinary folks. We have it all worked out so that if anyone get caught, the others aren't caught with them. But I swiped the chief's vox. I thought after I killed the governor, I could use the message coordinates to find the base and hide out there. The boy retrieves the vox from his pocket and holds it out to you with a shaking hand. That's everything I know, your lordship. Rebel vox. Neat. Interesting that the iconoclast option is to give him an easy death. But yeah, I guess if we bring him outside, he will just be killed anyway. But I don't want to kill him, especially if there's something to it. Are we just going to try... I'm so confused that that's the iconoclast answer. I wish there was something to do to make him survive, but I guess there won't be an option. And it would give the rebel an easy death. The people waiting outside will put you through far worse torment than I will. Goodbye. Me. Oh boy. Great.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
He wouldn't survive, the soldiers would kill him and nobody on board would trust a rebel. That's the thing.
I always have a backup
Why
plan.
didn't try it. Ah, boy. Did the maintenance room? Oh. Ooh. I think I wasn't here. It looks so nice. Yeah. 40k in general seems really unfair.
Grant me the wisdom to perceive.
I mean, this water seems kinda too vibrant, but it still looks nice. Artist Pendant. The wearer gains +5 fellowship and +10 commerce. If the wearer has dogmatic adherent or above, their law Imperium will depend on fellowship instead of intelligence. I mean, just the +5 fellowship and +10 commerce sounds cool enough to use it. Here's a really nice beach.
That's how it's
The
done.
fountain is an expensive toy for the nobility. Pure water is currently bubbling from it. But additional pipes on it indicate the presence of separate siphons for sparkling wine and other beverages. Oh boy. I think this place is part of someone's romance. Oh, do you know who? Apparently not Heinrix. With the white chap. With a thing. Yeah. Can now do a search operation. Alentark. Yrliet gestures for your attention. As you once sought my help, now I am seeking yours. The time has come to dispel the final shadows of our path. I've hidden the truth from you. I know a great deal about those who are disturbing the peace of the local ruler, and also know why they are hiding. Allow me to show you the way, on the condition that you bring me to them. I've hidden the truth from you. I know a great deal about those who are disturbing the peace of the local ruler, and also know why they are hiding. Allow me to show you the path, on the condition... Well, we had that already. I don't think the rogue trader needs your revelation right now, Xenos. That is even assuming that you are not lying now as well. Huh. One unexpected and suspicious revelation. Perhaps my admissions does sound like that. But please believe me one thing. What troubles me now is much more important than my earlier silence. Everything you've discovered, everything you've learned from your kind, there are traces of the same calamity. A calamity that will eclipse all the strife and wars on the face of this world. All the signs were plain to see, but I was here and the monkey failed to recognize the coming storm. Please, follow me, Edward. You must, if this world truly matters to you. What calamity are you talking about? You're still holding back information. I will reveal the truth very soon, but not here, not in the place where it seems evil has made its nest. Have patience, Alentark, and trust me. I don't like when people I just met are like, hey, trust me. If one of the Imperium's worlds is in danger, so be it. I will follow you. Let's go, Alentark. I pray to the gods that we are not too late. I didn't want to spoil it, but it's Cassia's. It's her first interaction with water and it's amazing. Aww, that's very cute. But feel free to spoil other romances, cause I'm not gonna romance anyone else. Ooh, Forest of Janus. It is past midnight. Oh well. Interesting.